Fears of Islam, the fears Abdulaziz made light of back in high school, have seized a small town in North Texas. About 50 miles northeast of Dallas is a place called Farmersville, which looks as you might imagine it would. Just over 3,000 people, pretty rural. City council meetings are quiet affairs, till recently, when more than 100 packed the Farmersville council meeting to try to protest an Islamic cemetery. Arnessa Garrett is the Collin County editor for the Dallas Morning News. Arnessa, why is this burial ground causing such concern?
Well, there are an estimated 22,000 Muslims in Collin County, and 5 Islamic centers joined together to find a place where they could have a cemetery. And questions were raised about what the plans exactly are for the site. Some residents in Farmersville wondered whether a larger Muslim enclave is being planned, whether there would be a mosque or some type of school on the site eventually. And some were concerned about Muslim burial practices.
When you say Muslim burial practices, what specifically?
Well, according to Muslim tradition, bodies are not embalmed, and some people wondered whether that was safe and sanitary. But of course, in other religious traditions, bodies are not embalmed as well. And a spokesman for the Islamic Center told the Dallas Morning News that the bodies would be washed in warm water in accordance with Muslim tradition. They would be placed in shrouds, and then the bodies would be put in coffins and buried underground in concrete vaults, which complies with all of the state and local laws.
I'm trying to understand something. You mentioned that there are 22,000 Muslims in Collin County, so it's not like this Muslim population has, it's not like the folks there have not been living with a considerably large sized population of Muslims. And yet, as I understand it, at one of these hearings, at least one person was talking about fear of a Muslim indoctrination taking place if this cemetery goes forward. What's that fear grounded in?
Well, Farmersville is a relatively rural area, and though the county does have a large and growing Muslim population, in Farmersville there is a Buddhist center that opened and also a Mormon church that recently opened. But in Farmersville itself, there isn't a large Muslim community. So there is an opportunity for some misunderstandings there.
Arnessa, we are talking about a cemetery here. This is not, this is not an instructional center or anything like that per se. So what I'm trying to understand is what's at the root of what's caused this upset in Farmersville?
Well, the Islamic Center spokesman said a lot of it has to do with misunderstandings about what exactly is going to happen at the site. And he's hoping that a dialogue in the coming weeks and months will help clear up some of those misunderstandings. There is only going to be a burial ground. There's a little tract of land that has been designated for some retail and commercial operations, but the spokesman for the Islamic Center said that those businesses would directly support the cemetery, and there is no long-term plan for any type of school or mosque at the site.
We've been reading reports that some residents have threatened to dump pig's blood or put pig's head on posts, so Muslims won't buy the property, that sort of thing. Is that true?
There was a comment made and actually it was the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting that these residents turned out for a couple weeks back. And there was some, person who made a comment about that, but it was really one person. When our reporter went out to Farmersville, she found that a lot of people, first of all, didn't know about the project, and that the people who were discussing it were kind of taking a wait and see attitude. So I would hate to paint all of Farmersville as, ready to desecrate the cemetery when it was kind of one comment.
Arnessa Garrett is Collin County editor for the Dallas Morning News. Arnessa, thank you.
Thank you.